Hello everybody, my name is Luke and today I will start a video series on Kerbal Space Program version 1.0.4. I'm running it on Linux Mint 17.1, the Cinnamon version. I've got more than 70 mods. They're not all listed in here. And I am running at around 6.5 gig just when I launched, but it varies from 6.5 to 9 gigs of RAM. Pretty stable. I'd say I can play at least 2 hours before it crashes. Sometimes there's unexpected crashes, but it's, I'd say, 10% of the time. Once it runs very smooth. As you can see, I've got lots of visual effects. Texture replacer and environmental visual enhancement. I'll make a special videos on just the folders that I have into my game data and the KSP. So this series will be a gaming showcase and tutorials. I'm gonna try to sort them out by mission name. So the first mission I'm gonna do is the Orbiter mission. So it's basically how to get in orbit and get my first satellite around the moon, hopefully. And yeah, it's gonna be a career mode showcase. So let's go ahead and start it right now. Start new. With this logo over here. It's gonna be a normal career mode. You'll see at first I'll have lots of parts and you might think that it's gonna be over easy, but don't worry, the learning curve gets really tough because I got so many mods and the CommunityTechTrees that it costs so much science that and you don't get enough money. So it's really tough to balance the amount of money you have, the upgrade you do, and the ships you send out. You gotta be very careful. And with remote tech launching network of satellite, it gets very costly. So you'll see, I'm starting this game right now. So there we go. We just started. Thank you. So as in your career mode, you gotta select your first missions, and of course we're gonna do that, but I'll start with the tech tree right now to explain a little bit. So I have lots of part for great kickstart, but look at that tech tree here. It's gigantic. So it starts with 5, pretty cheap, and 20, 45, 90, 160, 300 for each of those. 550, 1000, 1500, 200, 4000, and 10,000. So you see, it's gonna cost a lot of science points. Let's hope I will have all the missions I need to do all of this. So, yeah, you'll see that it gets tougher. But more parts mean more creativity and more options. So now we'll go to show you the surroundings. So that's all the visual effects. The little things that blinks there and there are lightning strikes. So it looks a little weird like that, but when you play, you see them only at a distance and it looks very nice. So that's Kerbin right there, the moon and Minmus. But I have outer planet mods with Pluton and Charon. Yep. So, outer planet mods add a lot of planets. Needon. Let's go see this one. Look at that, baby. Wow. Urlum. Let's go find this out. It's a tilted solar system. With Wal. Weird looking planet. Polka. Triax. This one looks really neat. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get there. Sarnus. Look at that one. It looks nice. Decto. Slate. Nice little planet. Oh, and there's a lot of small one. Elo's in there. Ovak. And Hale. Looks pretty neat. And of course we've got Jewel. With all their planets. Tylo's in there. Late. Val. I like Late. Look at this one. I'd like to build a base on it. We'll see. If we ever get there. It's a bit crazy. Dress. Little lonely planet over there. And Duna. Now I'm supposed to have sand dust on Duna, and we're on the when on the pole. There's supposed to be snowstorms, and there's supposed to be fogs on planets as well when I land. It looks really neat. And of course Kerbin, Eve. Now, I've been able to send one probe in Eve, but my probe was going so fast that I just went next to it like at the blazing speed and couldn't orbit it, so I lost my probe. Now this time I'm gonna try not to make that mistake. And it's got a moon, Gilly. And of course, we've got Moho. Oh, it wasn't Eve, it was actually Moho that I sent a probe, and it just flew by at around 10,000 meters. It was so fast, couldn't stop it. You can aero brake on Eve, but you gotta make sure you've got a very strong vessel. So, there we go. So, we're gonna take our first missions. Now, this one here is Mission Controller 2. You absolutely need it to make more cash. So, we've got already our basic mission. So we're gonna take launch of first vessel and gather scientific data. And there you go. So here's Orbiter 1. The first vessel I'm going to launch. Like I said, it looks like there's going to be a lot of parts, but you'll see how it gets tougher. So I put 4 mystery goo. Those comes from sounding rockets. Those little experiments. Great for science, brings a little bit. And this mini battery pack, I don't know what mods it comes from, but we're gonna try to explain it. Parachute from RealChute. Over here I've got a heat shield, so it will decouple when I'm gonna be in space. And 3 fuel tanks is gonna get me around altitude of 180,000. And this rocket comes from NovaPunch. Nice little engine. So it gets me a TWR of 1.41. I'm using Kerbal Engineer here. And we're gonna launch this. See what's gonna happen. So, there we go. Jebediah on his first mission. So first thing we're gonna do is do all of our experiments here. And we are going to recover the vessel. There you go. And then we're going to relaunch the vessel. There we go. Now this plugin is very useful. It's Science Alert. So every time there's some science available, it's gonna let us click and do whatever we require to do. But EVA report, sometimes it's tricky. Like if my hatch were obstructed, for example, Jebediah could just fly away or fall, and then he wouldn't be able to make it back. So use at your own risk. I usually don't use EVA report. So RCS, SAS, full throttle. Let's go. Now I'm gonna transmit all my crew report because I want to do as much crew report as possible to get some science. And there you go. Kerbinside gives us those nice little building that does not exist on the stock, and there's airports all around the place, so it's pretty cool. Now getting in the cloud layer, you can see here the second outpost. No experiments. Yes. Experiments. Transmit. So we'll go until we're run out of fuel completely. There you go. We're out of fuel. Look at that skybox. Now we can do our crew report and mystery crew observation. Oops. Because we're in space. So we're gonna make it all the way to 147,000. Now, we're going to decouple. Because if we decelerate, all of this might point our nodes downwards, and with deadly reentry, I don't want my parachute to die, to be destroyed. Yes, we lose our heat shield, but there's already a heat shield there. I didn't use any decoupler because I didn't have any available, but I had this one available. Okay. So now we will set our parachute for re-entry. We're gonna set an altitude of 1900 meter and a deployment altitude of 800 meter. And the parachute is armed. And now we can just let go everything and at full speed. Returning close to the KSC. Huh. Here's our heat shield. Lots of heat. Oh, some science available. Parachute deployed. And there you go. And there we go. Boom. We did land, and there's some extra science we can do. Take and store the data. Climb out. Whoa, boom. Poor Jeb. Come on, dude. There you go, man. And another EVA report here. And let's go Jeb back on the ship. And recover our vessel. And you'll see here all that science we've got. 84.9 for a total of 118 science. Some parts. Yeah. And there you go. So we earned a couple of medals here. Research ribbon, G-Force ribbon, first go in space, multiple contract, first landing. And now we're gonna go into the science to unlock our stuff. on our next video. So stay tuned, Kerbonauts, and we will see you for Orbiter 2 and maybe even Orbiter 3 tutorial as we continue our career mode.